Samore Love, you have now tuned in to my If Loving You Is Wrong recap. Guys, be sure to subscribe if you haven't yet done so. Also, be sure to share this video wherever you like to share videos. And check out Samore Love TV without the real, because that's where I have my love and hip-hop ATL recaps. Be sure to check that out. You know, show some love over there. Subscribe if you haven't so you are able to see it every Monday. Well, Tuesday morning or Monday night, whichever time it comes up, but it'll definitely be up by Tuesday morning unless something's going down, okay? And so we are here, and yes, y'all, I know I didn't do anything with my hair today. I'm about to, I think I might do some twists or something, but we family, so you know, ain't no shame in our game, okay? And yes, I have one. I tried to look a little decent by throwing on a little sweater, but that was about it. Yeah, I wasn't really feeling like looking too cute today. It wasn't about that. We talking about if loving you is wrong. Okay, so now let's get into it. Marcie, she was giving Alex the stare of death. And then all of a sudden she boxed it. Yeah, one box. And I was just there like, dang, Alex, you the pregnant woman just got slapped. Ooh. Yo, she slapped her so hard. I was just like, wow, okay. And Alex couldn't even do anything because she knew at the end of the day she was in the wrong. So she tells her to leave, to go to her house. And Alex at first was a little hesitant, but then when Mr. Randall says it, oh, she leaves. She's like, okay, Randall's saying it now. I'm going to leave. Marcie was like, so she listens to you now? Yo, that was so hilarious. She said that she's hurt because now she actually has the proof. This is what Marcie said. Because before it was kind of like she was thinking something was wrong. She felt it. You know, a lot of times when you have that intuition, when you feel like somebody's doing something, they usually are. That's just a lot. I mean, unless you're like paranoid or you have that whole, oh, everybody's going to hurt me syndrome or whatever, then if you're a real normal human being that you know how your husband, your boyfriend, your significant other, your little sugar daddy, sugar mama, whatever, you know how they normally act towards you, then all of a sudden they start to switch up, then you know that something is not right. Okay, and you gotta like kind of follow your intuition a lot of times because you ask them, for the most part, they're gonna lie to you. They're not gonna tell you the truth. And that's the hard part about being in relationships, is that sometimes people can look you in the eye, tell you they're not doing anything, they're not cheating, and they actually are, and they've been doing it for the longest. So yeah, she said that's really what hurt her, was the fact that he's been making her feel like she was crazy, like she was losing her mind, like she was judging him, this and that, and she actually was right all that time. He claims that he just got weak. I'm like, boy, weak? Weak lets you do it so many times over and over again where you guys actually had like dates on the calendar? Like, come on. So Marcie, she reveals that she's filed for divorce and he doesn't want to sign the papers. And she's like, she knew that he would act like that. She knew that he would do that. And she's like, you know what? She's going to go out and she's going to do her thing. And she is going to have sex with someone else. That's what she said she's going to do. She's going to make him feel the way that she feels. And he was just looking at her like, don't even dare. Like, you know, like, dude, you did it, but how you getting vexed because she's about to do the same things to you? How quickly people start to have feelings and emotions once something's about to happen to them that they don't like, but they didn't think about it when they were doing it to the other person. Or if they did think about it, they love the pleasure too much to actually stop what they were doing. So Lucien, I've been calling him Lucius all this time. And I was like, darn, he has the same name as Lucius from Empire. But his name is Lucien with an N. Anyway, so Lucien, he's getting that money, honey. It's not that much. He's getting, what, $1,800 a month. I mean, not a month. That's definitely nothing. He's getting $1,800 every 2 weeks, which is, you know, decent for like middle class. That would be considered middle class, right? So yeah, he's getting that every 2 weeks, and you know, he's a real stand-up guy. Even though he doesn't live with Natalie or whatever, what he does is he literally hands her over his first paycheck. And I think that that's just amazing. That shows the kind of person he is. She's like, but you have to pay your rent, you have to do this and that. And he's just like, it's fine. I'm going to get another one in 2 weeks. It's okay. It's like, I know you got things to do. And you know, that's just amazing to have people in your life like that. She also tells him, like, why are you paying rent over there? We should change the living arrangements. And he's like, you know, we don't really get along that well. We tend to argue and stuff. But she was being a little stubborn at first. You know, she's like, you know, I like you there for the boys or whatever. But he's like, you know, you like me there in the morning too. And she's like, oh, whatever. And then she finally is like, yeah, I do like that little spooning thing in the morning. You know, she like that little goody in the morning, little wild thing at night. So, I mean, she put it out there on the table. She was getting a little upset that he wasn't saying, oh, yeah, I'm going to do it. But I think they definitely need to work on their relationship prior to definitely making that commitment. Because, you know, come see me and come live with me are two different things, you know? So, yeah, my grandmother used to always say, like, come see me and come live with me are two different things. You can tell somebody to come see me. Okay, you know, relationship is great. But now when you have to actually live with them, that's a lot of times where the problems happen, because now you have to learn the way that they live. If you're the female or if you're the best cook, you have to cook what they like as well. It's a lot of different things. You have to actually share your dresser or whatever, you know, with them. You share the bed. You can't just like hog the whole thing. You have to have a side now. It's different. So Randall, he is snitching, honey. Yes, he is telling all. And he goes to the precinct and he's talking to the captain about what occurred last episode, where Mr. Ed thought he was some big tough man and was trying to beat him down while he had handcuffs on, and then tried to shoot him as well, where he still has bruises on his head. So when Ed hears about that, he pulls Lucian to the side, and it's like he's trying to ask for a favor, but I feel like he was still being extremely rude while he's trying to ask for the favor. And Lucian is just showing him, I don't know, I feel like Lucian might just compromise his morals because of the money, and because he sees how happy Natalie was and how she feels like her dreams are really starting to form, and she's talking about maybe we can possibly get a house, and this is so good, and she seems so happy. I think that he's worried about that, and the fact that Ed would definitely try to blackball him so he won't be able to get other jobs so easily. So I don't know if, you know, as she said last episode, all money ain't good money, and that's the bad thing about it. So hopefully he doesn't get involved in any mess, but he kind of already is, where he might have to testify or something, and he may have to lie if he wants to keep his job, unless Ed gets fired. So now Ed, he's talking to Lucius in the back and telling him that he needs to make sure he says this and that, and telling him exactly what it is that he should say. And it's crazy because he's just pretty much thinking that he can tell him whatever he wants to tell him, and he's supposed to follow it. So Lucian is just like, he'll say exactly what it was that happens if he's asked, and that's it. And I'm like, I hope that's the case. I hope that's what you're really going to do, and not just saying that. Ed takes a drive, and he tells Lucian to come with him, and they end up driving to Randall's house. He breaks into Randall's house because he's above the law, as we know. He goes in, goes upstairs, looks into the man's drawer, his desk drawer. And then he looks at his wife while she's taking a nice little bubble bath, being on his creep life flow. He's like looking through the crack of the door. But Randall comes and he speaks to Lucian outside, and he's just like, why are you not saying anything? And this and that. Like, just asking him, you know, like, what's up? What's going on? And he tells him that he saved him. He's like, so you think that's enough? He's like, you're alive. It's like, you know, at the end of the day, like, he's trying to get justice. That's what he's trying to do. I mean, yes, he's not the best human being, individual, but that doesn't mean that he deserves to not get treated fairly either. Yes, he did something wrong. He slept with his best friend's wife, but he also is a human being. So, anyways, so as when Randall comes and he's trying to, because he's asking Lucius, like, where's your partner? And he realizes, like, they're in front of his house, so he must be inside. But he leaves when Randall goes upstairs, like, he hides in a little closet. But Randall notices that he did come in. Then, while he's on the phone talking to, I guess, his lawyer people, because, you know, he big time or whatever, he's talking to his lawyer people. That's actually the part where Marcie came and she was talking about she's about to commit adultery. She had this little tight up skirt, and she had this little bustier thingy on, little tight up shirt, and she was looking like she was ready for the strip, honey. So she got her hair all curled up. She was ready. The only thing I can say, Marcie, oh my goodness, who does her highlighting? I do not like how, maybe it's me personally, I don't like the whole highlight, like super highlight, like drag queenish. No shade to drag queens, I love them. But I feel like you should leave it for the drag queens, you know? Like, I feel like they put too much highlight under her eyes. It just always looks so bright. Like, imagine taking a photo with her. It would look like she has raccoon eyes. Okay, just had to get that off my chest real quick. So now, getting back into this. Yeah, she talks about she about to commit adultery, and she leaves, but she sees Kelly while she's on her way to do whatever it is she thought she was about to do. And Kelly is just like, where are you going looking like that? And she tells her, and they decide to, instead of doing that, let's take a detour. They go to Natalie's shop and just eat some food there. Well, they ate ice cream and just was kind of like having a little quick girl talk. But Esmeralda tells her about Randall having the lawyer come over, and also having Brad going to the back with Lucian. So all the ladies are worried about this. They don't know what's going on really, because none of the guys really talk to them about it. So it looks like Marcie was feeling a little uneasy. She's like, oh my God, this is like my fault. And she ends up leaving. She's like, maybe I could find out some information. But that's not what she had on her brain. She was still trying to get somebody in her drawers. That's what was at the back of her mind. She wanted to put her little plan that she had into action. And maybe this time not tell nobody about it, because once you tell people something, if they feel like that's not the right thing for you, they're going to try to stop you, especially if they're good friends. And that's exactly pretty much what Kelly had done. So she takes a detour. She goes to Brad's house. And wait, was it his house or was it his office? It might have been his office that she went to. And she asked him, how does he feel about this? And I can't believe they did this to us. And they're just kind of sharing the way that they feel, getting it off their chest. And then we have this really awkward moment where Marcie says, I want to have sex with you. And he's like, okay. And I'm just like, whoa. He's like, no sense fighting it anymore. So it was on your mind? Is that what you're trying to say? You was just trying to be a good husband and not even look at her like that. I mean, remember he did say something at one time, but I forgot what it was that he said. And didn't Randall look at him kind of weird? Like, you talking about my wife like that? Yeah. So, I don't know if they're really going to actually go through with it. Maybe she might just cop out because this is her first time actually stepping out. And she's technically still married. I don't know. I feel like she's going to do the right thing. But I don't know. When people are hurt, they do foolish things. We shall see, you guys. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you thought about this episode down below. Also, don't forget to check out Samore Love TV so you can see my Love and Hip Hop ATL recap. Be sure to stay fabulous, live free, and soar limitless. I'll see you in the next one. Laters.